Hi, this is Sharon Ross with Moonlight Fit Club, and today is day 8 of Meditate Your Weight, a 21-day retreat to optimize your metabolism and feel great. Today's theme is stress proofing. When we learn to detach from our perception of stress, the same way we observe the breath in meditation, when we learn to tell ourselves, I'm okay, this too shall pass, without getting involved in our worries, we can block the negative effects of stress on our bodies, both physically and mentally. Today, recognize how great an effect stress has on both your brain function and your metabolism. We all feel overwhelmed at times, getting caught up in the drama of the moment. But when we look back just a few months later, the precipitating event seems so small and insignificant. Stress is really our body's response to our interpretation of what's happening, our own personal version of reality. In this meditation practice, we're trying to use the observer's mindset to broaden the gap between a trigger and our response. And when we do make a shift, it doesn't need to be worlds away from what we are already doing. There is something liberating about realizing that you don't have to orchestrate a monumental change to manage the internal conflict, and that incremental changes really do work. You don't have to be perfect, either physically or in thought. So today's meditation is a 5-minute meditation. It is all about developing your ability to notice the sensations in each breath, but also see the bigger picture. The first part is to observe the breath and acknowledge the sensations in your body, and see if you can detangle that from the mind. Then recount a stressful situation or day, anything recent enough that you can recall it in full detail and then connect to that memory. Notice the sensations that the recollection brings up in the body. Is it possible to allow the sensations to exist and disengage the mind? Just notice and watch them. Take a moment to do so. Then notice what it feels like to acknowledge that everything will pass at some point. Consider that in the big picture, a month or a year from now, you'll look back on this one little stressful experience, and it will be insignificant. Last, notice what it feels like to acknowledge that right now, in this moment, you have everything you need. With that, let's begin. So, sitting in a comfortable position, knees slightly lower than your hips for comfort and spinal posture. Hands can either be resting palms down or palms up, or palms together, whatever is most comfortable for you. I am going to take my glasses off because I generally want to fiddle with them. And let's go ahead and begin. Okay, now for the journaling exercises. Today's journaling will focus on stressful moments. Notice your stress points, either from yesterday or last week, whether they're minor incidents, ongoing situations, or big events. So for me, it was actually this morning, had a meeting where the future was vague on the project, and I was trying to bring order to it, and I couldn't quite figure out how to bring all the pieces together, and that was stressful for me. Ask yourself, how different would those stress points look if you were able to take an observer's mindset, to detach yourself in the moment when you feel stress and simply observe. Notice the experience and imagine the big picture. Well, certainly taking deep breaths through it and realizing that eventually the vagueness would become more concrete and the project would be more organized, definitely would reduce my stress level. Will the outcome of those moments look different? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. How will it be different? Remember, today's work is not necessarily changing stress or outcomes, but rather changing your perception. That shift alone will have a profound effect on your health. And for me, keeping in mind that the vagueness does work itself out would be a better perception of the events rather than stressing and feeling like I've got to control everything. I don't. I can have others on the project participate and be in the discussion, and we can figure it out together. Today's mantra is, I am content. And with that, we'll see you next time.